Hey guys, and welcome to a new playthrough I'm starting of a game called Dark Souls 3, as you can see on the screen. Pretty much, this is probably one of the not scariest, that's not a good word. What's a good word? I could definitely say this is one of the most rage-inducing games. And if you're not good at controlling your anger, you'll probably lose your mind playing this. But I have a lot of fun playing this. I've had a lot of fun playing this in the past. These games have always been interesting to me, and they're just really enjoyable. It's an open world type game where you have to depend on survival, exploration, and boss fights to progress in the game, which the boss fights in this game are pretty good. And I will try to do each boss fight on my own, but there are a few in this game that are ridiculously hard. Like the optional end boss is ridiculous. I will not be able to do that on my own. But yeah, new playthrough. Dark Souls 3, open world survival game. It's got a creepy, dark vibe to it. I'm sorry. I turned off the game noise or the music. I should have let that play through that cutscene. Sorry about that. Okay. Just because that's what I've always called myself. So these are the classes, and you can see on the right side where my character is, it shows certain stats, attributes for each class. The Knight class is my favorite. I do like the Knight. That's the only one I like, actually. An obscure knight of poor renown who collapsed roaming in the land. Sturdy, owning to high vitality and stout armor. He gets a pretty good armor set that you keep throughout most of your first playthrough. You will find a pretty good weapon to replace that one. That shield is okay too. So I will pick the Knight class. And I like to pick the life ring usually, because I don't think you find a life ring plus one for a while. So I like to have that to give me extra HP. With the Knight class, it's pretty good. So, build. I'll just keep standard. Appearance. I don't care to mess around with this for a long time. I just like to change my hair. I have a dark brown hair color. I do have pretty bushy eyebrows. I'll keep these. I do have facial hair. Kind of like this, except not as much. I have a goatee and a mustache. He already kind of looks like me. I don't really have to change much. I can change the eye color. It's like a light brown almost. Like this. That looks almost just like me, except the hair, actually. And then you can put a tattoo on your person too. I'm not really gonna. Let me see if they have my hairstyle. No, they don't. Oh. I'm not gonna lie. No. on top of my head, it looks like that, except it doesn't go down, it goes up. And it's not as much. And I do have hair on the side, so it's not exactly accurate. I'm just gonna stick with this one. Just get right into it. I'm only playing this game mostly because I'm kind of bored of Rainbow Six Siege at the moment. Mostly since I was so into Call of Duty World War II. I try hard not to swallow a lot and breathe into the mic, because that is an annoying sound I've been making in my videos. So I was holding my breath and not talking. But yeah, this is what the game looks like when you're in it. You can block. That's parrying. Parrying is when you deflect someone's attack and make them stunned for a little, which can let you do something called riposte, which is where they're just stunned, and when you press an attack on them, it'll do an animation that does a lot of damage. But yeah, you can block, you can swing, light attack, heavy attack, you can dual wield. You have these things called Estus flasks, which heal you. I'm not going to use one yet. Yeah, here's an enemy. You can also backstab. If you can get behind them, you can backstab them. You can sprint, you can roll, you can backstep. And if you do a backstep and attack, it does a backstep attack. I haven't played this game in a while. I gotta get used to the controls a little. I think this is an Ashen. These bring up your FP instead of your HP, which is your magic meter. You only have a certain amount of uses for magic spells with the blue bar in the top left. And when you use a magic spell, it brings it down, and when it's all the way down, you can't use any more magic. So you have to drink these blue Estus flasks. But for this class, I don't plan on using magic, so not a big deal for me. F a crossbow, okay? Call me TK, F a beat. Okay, I'm tired of you. I keep trying to tap X to run because I think that's how you do it on COD. COD World War II. COD. No. There's another game I play where you have to spam X. But I keep trying to spam X to run. Here's our first bonfire, which is pretty much just a resting area. What you can do here is you can reset your Estus flasks, you reset your health, your magic bar, and it resets all the enemies in the area. I don't want to F with you. Do I have to F with you guys? I don't think so. Oh yeah, a little parkour here. Let me see if I can get this. To jump, you have to run and then click the stick down. That was a lot easier than I thought it'd be. Sponge attack. You just fall from the air and attack before you hit the ground. This is only for people who have never touched this game. There's gonna be the first boss fight, who is actually extremely easy to me, but for a beginner it might be a lot. He's really simple, actually. He's super simple. All you have to do is just keep moving. You just have to keep moving to his left. Okay, you might have to dodge. And now he's gonna turn into this thing. Dodging left is gonna make the most sense with this guy. He turns into this, just keep moving left. And he's dead. How do you... You can also do these gestures, which I love to do. Which one do I like to do? On PlayStation, you have to press the middle button. I think the one I like to do is just bow. After every boss, I just bow. That's the very first boss you encounter. Simple. If you just keep moving left, and sometimes you'll have to move right. If you don't have a shield, it'll be a little trickier. You'll have to learn how to time rolls. When he swings, you'll have to learn how to time rolls. You can roll under his attacks. And then you just make your way to this area. Which is a giant rest area. This is pretty much what your home is gonna be for the entire game. Just these random people you meet. This girl's really important for the end of the game. And when you defeat that boss, he gives you this. Or actually you get this and it triggers the boss fight, and when you beat him you can put it there. And this is your main bonfire that helps you get to every place. You have this lady that's a merchant. She'll sell you random stuff. She sells you these embers, which are important. They pretty much make you stronger when you activate one. And when you die, it takes it away from you and you have to use a new one. These are good for co-op with real people. You put this down and you put them down by boss fight doors, and someone can summon you to fight with them. But yeah, those are the only two important things, are this and the embers. This guy is extremely important. This guy upgrades your weapons. He puts buffs on your weapon. He's really cool. He was the guy in the first Dark Souls game, if I'm correct. Yeah. Those 5 thrones up there are for 4 major bosses. That guy's already there. But these are for 4 major bosses that you're gonna fight. Aldridge, Ludlith, who's already there, he's right there. When you defeat bosses, you get their soul. And what you can do with their soul is either use it for souls at the bottom right, or you can trade them in for really cool weapons. Before you can talk to this guy and trade boss souls for weapons, you have to defeat a certain boss, which we will get to, because I do want to get some boss weapons. I don't know which ones. This is King Lothric, who's probably my favorite fight in the game. These guys are extremely annoying, but they're not too hard if you have good defense. This guy's definitely not hard if you follow a side quest in the game that gives you that gives you a buddy that has a really powerful sword that you will be able to get to. But if you don't fight him with the really good sword that you get, it takes a million years to defeat him. We are not anywhere near that fight though, so I'm not going to talk about it much. But yeah, this is the first part for this playthrough. First boss fight. This guy up here who has a side quest you can do for him. But I probably won't. I think what happens is you get a ring. You get a cool ring from him. Rings, pretty much, they give you certain stat boosts. Like this one gives you more HP. And then you have your inventory down here where you can put all your stuff. You can change your armor here. Every armor piece. You can change your weapons. You can have up to 3 weapons and 3 shields. No? Never mind. 3 weapons, 3 shields. But you do have to keep in mind your weight. Because when you're too heavy, when you have too much stuff on you and you're too heavy, you will do a slow roll, which really affects how you fight. I hate slow rolling. It sucks a lot. So when you want to put a bunch of weapons on, you have to put lighter armor or take armor off. Or you can get the certain ring that brings up your weight max. It's called the Havel ring, I think. It's a nice ring to have. I like to carry it. But yeah, that's it. Now I'm gonna gesture in front of her, tell her to get down and suck me. No, that was bad. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll see you guys in the next part.